Hi everyone, welcome back. Now in today's video, we will be talking about one very important art piece in art history, and that is the Venus of Willendorf. But before I discuss things about the Venus of Willendorf, I will show you first our reference book for today's video, and that is the very heavy and the very thick 30,000 Years of Art. Yeah, so this would be our reference material. Now, going back to the sculpture, now this sculpture is very important to art history. Now, why is that so? I think because before its discovery or excavation for that matter in the year 1908, most art experts and most archaeologists would have this conjecture that there is a possibility that our ancestors are not capable of producing art. But my friends, all of those things were able to change because of this lady right here. Because after a number of studies, they studied about it, they researched about it, they were able to find out that the Venus of Willendorf may have been produced 30,000 years ago. Oh, by the way, BCE. 30,000 years BCE. And I think that is quite a long time. And that proves to show that our ancestors are very much capable of producing good art forms like this one. And whenever I would show the picture of the Venus of Willendorf to my students in Art App in UST, it never fails. They would always give me mixed reactions towards it. Like some would be amazed, some would be bothered, and some would have a lot of questions about it. And I cannot blame them, because if you would look at the sculpture, indeed it is very much striking. Like, how can you not ask questions about it? And the most popular one would have to be about the size of certain body parts of the sculpture. They would say, Mr. Padilla, why are the breasts like humongous and monstrous in size? Not only the breast, but also the stomach, and also the female sex organ is also being emphasized. And on the other hand, there are some parts that are actually minimized and almost non-existent. Like for example, I cannot see if there's a face or if there are hands, right? So it is very interesting to think about, like what is actually inside the minds of our ancestors when they produced this particular art form. Like what is their intention? Like what are their motivations, right? It is really interesting. Very, very interesting actually, right? Indeed, my friends, the Venus of Willendorf is one very interesting sculpture. That is why when I was able to visit Vienna, I did not miss the chance to visit the Natural History Museum in Vienna, Austria. Because in that museum, the Queen is Our Lady right here. I think it is the centerpiece of the entire museum. She has her own chamber, right? And later on in this video, I will show you a clip of your teacher, Mr. Padilla, in front of the museum. So watch out for that. Then, hi everyone. We're now here in Vienna, Austria, particularly at the Museum of Natural History. And I'm so excited to be here because the Venus of Willendorf is actually inside. And I think we have talked about this in class, and that made me even more excited. So I'll update you what's going to happen inside, and that's it. Well guys, unfortunately, videotaping is not allowed inside the museum during that time. But I will just share with you my experience inside the museum and upon seeing the Queen, the Venus of Willendorf. Well, I was surprised. Why? Because before entering the museum, I have this idea in my head that the Venus of Willendorf is a huge sculpture. But, my friends, in reality, the Venus of Willendorf is no bigger than 5 inches. I think it is only a little over 4 inches. So it's very, very small. Aside from the size of the Venus of Willendorf, another thing that actually was so different from the way I was able to see it before would have to be the hands. At first, before seeing it actually in person, I was thinking that the Venus of Willendorf would not have hands. But when I saw it, I realized that the Venus of Willendorf would have hands, and her hands were actually placed on top of each breast. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. So how about you? What is your idea about the Venus of Willendorf? Well, for my art app students, I suggest that you watch the BBC documentary. Don't worry, I'll be putting the link on the description below. Plus, I'll be giving you some guide questions for you to be guided while watching the documentary. And please do read the guide questions because we will be discussing those questions in class next meeting. Anyway, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye everybody, see you next time.